Kid Cudi walks towards the federal courthouse, smoking a cigarette, wearing a leather jacket, a white t-shirt, and some blue jeans, looking like he don't give a. First thing I'll say is Cudi maintains his confidence throughout his testimony, even making the jury chuckle at one point. He tells us that he first meets Cassie in 2008, but it wasn't until 2010 that Diddy approached him about collaborating with her. So in 2011, the two get in the studio together, and things don't end well. Cudi says the two got close, and he fell in love with her, and to his knowledge, she and Diddy were over. He says the two talk every day, and then towards the end of the year, she confides in him and tells him that Diddy abuses her, that he hits and kicks her, and it infuriates him because he loves her. And then one day, shortly before Christmas, Cudi gets a call from Cassie around 6 a.m. in the morning, and she sounds stressed. She's panicking. She tells him that Diddy found out that the two were dating. Then she says something that stresses him out even more, that she gave Diddy his address and that she doesn't know what Diddy's gonna do. So the two check into a nearby hotel. Cudi says Cassie's a wreck. And then Cudi gets a call from Capricorn Clark, who is Diddy's former assistant, and she tells him, Diddy is inside your house. At this point, Cudi says Diddy has crossed the line, so he calls him, angry, and in a calm voice, he says Diddy tells him he's here so that they can talk. So now Cudi says he is rushing home so that he can fight Diddy. But then on his way, he realizes that he doesn't know what he's walking into. He doesn't know if he has guns. So he calls the cops. Now, Cudi says he left his front door unlocked, but when he gets home, he realizes the security cameras have moved. And when he goes inside, he sees that Christmas presents have been opened and that his dog that roams freely around in the house was locked in the bathroom. Days later, Cudi flies to Connecticut to be with Cassie and her family for Christmas. And it was during this time that Regina Ventura, Cassie's mother, says she received an email from her daughter that made her physically ill. Cassie opened up about the abuse and told her mom that Diddy was threatening to release a sex tape starring her on Christmas Day and another shortly after, and that he also threatened to send someone to her, both her and Kid Cudi. During this trip, Kid Cudi says that Diddy was calling him multiple times, but he didn't want to talk to him, accusing him of breaking into his home and hurting his dog. Now it's 2012, and the relationship that Kid Cudi had with Cassie is fizzling. But things are about to get worse. Cudi is out of town and gets a call from his dog sitter telling him his car is on fire. His reaction? What the? Someone had ripped a hole in the top of his black Porsche convertible and dropped a Molotov cocktail inside. The inside was badly damaged and charred. Cudi says he realizes things are getting out of hand, so he calls Diddy and says he's ready to talk. So the two arrange to meet at the Soho House. Cudi says he walks into a private room and standing there is Diddy, looking out of the window overlooking Beverly Hills. He says he looked like a Marvel supervillain. And I'm not gonna lie, the courtroom chuckled, even the jury. He says the two started talking about how he started dating Cassie, what it was, and how it ended, with Diddy responding, "You knew she was my girl." Cudi described Diddy's demeanor as calm, courteous, a little too courteous, saying he offered me water at least 2 times. Cudi says Cassie eventually shows up, and it upsets him because he realizes the two are back together.